Hello, welcome to Scrap Time, episode 1041. My name is Christina, and on today's episode, I am showing you the Imagine Crafts Neon Amplify. Today, I am showing you the Neon Amplify from Imagine Crafts. I have a few of the colors here, and I'm going to show you what they do. So, just like the name says, they amplify. So you should be able to see here these yellow dots and how much they are raised off the page. With a little bit of heat, it sort of bubbles up like popcorn and pops off the page. However, if you don't want that really big texture, you can still get an interesting thinner texture. So along here, I had used my textured pattern stencil, and then here my texture shapes. And it adds, if you run your finger over it, you will add a texture as well to your page. So I'm going to show you both ways, through a stencil and then on its own, just to see. And then the word create here, I had used their stencil with all these words on it. So let's get started. I have this background that I've previously made for a different project, and I will do the circles again, and this time I am going to start with some pink. So when I'm using it, this is electric coral. When I'm using it through a stencil, what I do is I put it down onto my mat. I put a blob out. I might need more. And then I take a sponge, just like I would with paint, and I really want to get it in there. You want it pretty thick, so I think I'm going to put a bit more down. So I have my circles there, and now we are going to heat it. And when we heat it, it's going to get bubble up just a little. So you should be able to see that there's texture in there. So if this was just regular paint, it would be flat. But this now has this sort of bumpy texture to it. So now I can go in with, which ones did I do there? I can lay my stencil back on with my little circles. And I will use orange. So I'm just putting the paint off to the side, but it's the same idea. I put a blob of paint down, pick it up with my sponge, so I have those orange dots on, and I can heat that as well. So there, just so you can see, you can layer the colors on top of one another. And now I am going to just show you straight out of the bottle. So to get that really big, I will do yellow on this green. And I can just put dots of this. And depending how big your dot is, depends how big your little popcorn pop is going to be. So I'm going to heat this and you should be able to see them pop up. So you should be able to see now all the popcorn. So where it was a smaller dot, it's smaller obviously, and then whereas it was a big blob, it was a really big sort of popcorn. And they just sort of stick to your page. So I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to write with it and then we'll see what happens. Just test it first. Make a bigger dot there. Nice big dot for our eye. And we'll heat that and see what it looks like. I haven't actually experimented with this, so this will be an experiment for both of us. So it turned out, it looks pretty cool. We now have this three-dimensional high coming off our page. Don't know if, can you see the dimension there? And so just thinking you could do some really neat techniques, possibly like even in an art journal, by putting this around, heating it, and then putting paint over it. Lots of different things to experiment with in the future. But I think that turned out really cool the way that high is. So that is the Neon Amplify from Imagine Crafts. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, I am showing you the Artsy Groove tool. So please join us. Thanks for watching Scrap Time.